This is another nostalgia's powerful rant. Adulthood doesn't just take away the joy from video games, it's not as simple as that. Then what is it?
Hello, this is Stampy.
Hey everyone, Dan here from the Diamond Minecraft.
I started thinking about this because for the first time ever I tried the Lucky Block mod, a mod that I had seen Think Noodles, Dan TDM, and popular MMOs play. I played it for 30 minutes, then thought about how I could be playing something else. It wasn't that the mod was boring, but it felt like I wasn't receiving anything new. I wasn't receiving anything I couldn't get from another game. I couldn't recapture that feeling I still have when rewatching an old video. Are video games destined to suck, just like everything else in life? Okay, I sound stupid, but will video games ever capture that feeling we had when we were young? I can remember the first time I ever loaded into a Minecraft world. The feeling of the grass on my feet, the smell of the flowers, and the vibrant sunshine. Luckily, my first ever time playing Minecraft was outside. I wasn't imagining that much. Minecraft Pocket Edition Lite. Do y'all remember that? It was essentially a Minecraft demo that would automatically delete the world you created once you logged off. Maybe something about that world being finite meant something to me, because now I had to make a full story in my playthrough since the next time I logged on, the world wouldn't be there anymore. That yearning to create a story was exemplified by the YouTubers I watched too, as they had the time, the resources, and the minds for creating stories. All three of those skills we possess. But at a different level, after my homework was done, I had plenty of time to play Minecraft. I had a resource, which was my Thea's iPad, and of course, I had the mind to create stories. However, looking at that list, you realize that the resources were a bit different. I didn't have a gaming PC I could use to install mods. And I'm not saying that I didn't appreciate my Thea's iPad, I absolutely did, but I couldn't stop imagining what it'd be like to have a gaming PC and experience all sorts of games with it. I also couldn't stop imagining the feeling of an audience who were watching my videos. So I created and imagined, even if the audience never showed up. But that's the thing, I never stopped imagining. Imagination was almost an obsession for me, of all the dreams that could one day be. It didn't matter if the house I built on Minecraft was a small little dirt house. It didn't matter if I got lost along the way, because those experiences led to a new imagination, to new stories. Children love to play, I love to play, and for a long time I did play, until I became a teenager. As a teenager, you learn to fit in, you're changing personality traits, understanding what works best to make friends, you optimize. And that's what the adult mind is built upon, optimization. Your brain spends years learning optimization. How can we get a task done quickly? What experiences have I had in the past that allows me to figure out what's going on right now? Playing this next series made me realize how optimization affects gaming. My first experience with playing Pokemon wasn't even an official Pokemon game. It was a game that would get deleted for copyright. Pokemon Brick Bronze on Roblox. I wonder what it'd be like to play this game today. Not their remake of the game after they got the copyright strike, but the exact game. As the whole genre of the game was new to me. An RPG. It's a genre that allows a kid's brain to flourish. Role-playing game. While the base gameplay of Pokemon is just get from point A to point B, my brain hadn't yet learned that. It wasn't optimized. I wasn't able to predict what was coming after defeating the 1st, 3rd, 7th gym leader. I might have known my ultimate goal was to reach the mountaintop, but I had no idea how I'd get there. Now if I play a Pokemon game, I already know that I'm gonna go from gym to gym, maybe encounter some cool Pokemon along the way, and ultimately reach the top. I recognize the hero's quest. I understand enemy patterns, puzzle design, and unless the game is doing something unique with those mechanics, my mind can already predict what's about to go down. Before, games didn't need to fulfill uniqueness, as every idea was something new. My experience wasn't making me better at games, it was leading to less surprises. It's nearly impossible to make a gaming experience better by just yourself. Like, even if I try to imagine a different narrative, my mind doesn't want to create a story, it wants to see the story, and God knows the Pokemon company won't supply a fulfilling narrative for me. And that kind of says a lot about the state of storytelling today. I wish I could just imagine a story for a Pokemon game while playing it, make up my own story, but then I get called crazy. Hell, I'm even a bit of a hypocrite too, because I'll watch Think Noodles and wonder if he's a little oddball from the way he tells stories. We correlate so much of imagination and storytelling with children that when we see someone older doing it in a way that's not professional, we clown on them. And that's a hard thing to draw the line on, because yes, eventually everyone has to grow up. We can't be Peter Pan forever. But I also don't want to live in a world that's bland and colorless. A world where we're fed the same generic story and supposed to enjoy it. So where does the line between creativity and childish get drawn? The line is drawn by the people surrounding the community. And while creativity and discovery as a community is something special, there's also a side of people who clown on any creative outlet or immediately search for answers upon a game's release. When we're kids, we had playground talk. We'd have to write down usernames just for the opportunity to chat outside of whispers during class. I'd have to message my friends through the Roblox Messenger because none of us had phones. My friends would send me messages of their cousin telling them about Slenderman. It was terrifying. Obviously, I'm not a kid today, but I wonder what life would be like if I was, because I feel like kids are getting older every day. Obviously they are, but like, I hardly see a moment of boredom when it comes to kids. They're always actively consuming and gaining more knowledge. Boredom is a great thing. It's something needed and it allows the mind to wander and create. And I'm not just gonna chalk it down to my generation is the best generation, because every generation has room for improvement. But I truly believe that the access to the internet leads to the death of wonder. The lack of access to knowledge leads to more discoverability. I can remember in 2018 my Theo bought Cuphead for him and me to play together. And I had to play as Mugman, of course. But playing with my Theo and discovering new bosses, new weapons, and the whole game together was wonderful. I had to go on a camping trip with my parents after we finished Aisle 1. And I remember camping, no electronics, having so much anticipation for what Aisle 2 had in store. I believe if I had access to technology, I would have looked up what was coming next, ruining the surprise for myself. I'm so glad that I got to experience Cuphead fresh and with someone who was also avoiding researching the game. But that's where I say if I had access to that knowledge, to that certainty, I wouldn't have had the specialty of discoverability. And a lot of kids today have that access. I would hate for them to lose out on the feelings we experienced as we grew up. So it's time to take down Wiki. Just kidding, I love you, Wikipedia. I'm a part of the 2% that donates. But genuinely, sometimes limits to what we know are good. Our brain craves new experiences, and by rewarding them immediately with a Google search, you mess up your feeling of anticipation. So maybe games didn't change. Our personalities, our brains, and our culture did. We live in an age of instant access, of immediate gratification, when our brains were built on waiting. If you know a kid who is experiencing immediate gratification, try giving them back some of the experiences we felt by limiting their access to knowledge. Even if not, reward yourself by limiting your own access of knowledge, revitalizing your own feelings of discoverability. Maybe your favorite game isn't impossible to revisit. Maybe the thing that's impossible is revisiting the person who first played it. You can't become your childhood self again, but if you can ignore guides, stop worrying about the quickest way to do something, and let yourself wander, you might remember what they first experienced.